So there are two basic trains of thought when it comes to making hay, and I am no expert, but from what I've learned, there is the dairy way, basically, which is what my background has been in. So we tend to lean towards the dairy way. Dairy is more based on quality. So you're getting that first cutting early before the plants go to seed. You want to get them when they're tender and are able to be easily digestible for the animals. Beef, often you'll see a later first cutting hay. So it may be into June in this area, for example, whereas we're trying to make our first cutting end of May. Some even make it much earlier than that. The dairy guys especially could make it much earlier than that, and they might even silage wrap it. So making it when it's wet in general, kind of like how we wet wrap. So for us, we're going for quality usually over quantity, because if you're letting it grow even farther, you're going to have more quantity in that later first cutting than we get in our first cutting. Our first cutting is, again, very thin stemmed, quality. But the trouble with doing it so early is, especially in this area, we need perfect weather. Like, we cannot have rainy, misty days. It has to be 3-4 full days of dry, like breeze, perfect weather, or we're needing to be wet wrapping it. And wet wrapping it means that you're just keeping a higher moisture content in those bales, and it like almost ferments in the silage wrap or the wet wrap. And that's what we feed throughout the winter, and the cows love it. It smells incredible. Obviously, it can spoil, so that's the tough part, but pros and cons with both methods, early or late cutting.